Trash Cinema 101.
Hello. Welcome to my live stream. How's everyone doing today? I'm Logan, in case we haven't met before. Welcome to my live stream. By the way, let me know. Ooh, let me bring back in my little background. Oh, ambient music. This is ambient music being played by Chris Zabriskie. He's a local musician here in Orlando, and I love his work. And he's providing that in the background because of Creative Commons. Also, today, my little guest star is going to be my cat. If you see weird stuff in the window, right about there, right now, yep, he's that fuzzy lump sitting in the window. So if you end up seeing him pop onto the bed, say hi or whatever, he's going guest star today. So welcome to our presentation of Little Shop of Horrors, the original 1960 Roger Corman film. This one is a cult classic that I know people love. Oh, yay! Hello in the chat room. Hi, Chris. Hi, Kelly. I'll be giving you guys a presentation of this film. It's the original one from the 1960s, specifically 1960. Hi, Christine. This film is strange and wonderful and dark, but I have a little presentation to give you before I do that. Let me make sure I get all my things ready and ready to go here. Boop, and bam. Look at that slideshow presentation. So, today's film, Little Shop of Horrors, is from 1960, but I have a few little fun factoids about today's film that I want to share with you before we get started. First off, number one, this film is possibly the first deliberately silly horror film. Now, like I was saying, it was directed by Roger Corman, and he had done a bunch of other weird films beforehand. Most notably, he had done this little film with Vincent Price called The House of Usher, based on the original Edgar Allan Poe short story. Now, when he went to go show this film and people would go watch it, he would notice that the audience at first would go and scream at a moment in the film and then start laughing, and he was weirded out by that, and he was like, oh, wait a second, if I deliberately do that as my formula, that I am letting people go ahead and scream and then laugh at the thing, do something horrific and dark and then let them laugh, that's a fun formula. What if I do that? And then also, he realized that they're not necessarily laughing at the film. They're laughing in this moment of recognition, saying like, oh, you got me. So that really kind of set up this formula now for blending comedy and horror together. There have been comedy films that happen to use horror elements before, but this is like one of the first deliberate ones. Not counting like Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. You know what I mean? Two. Oh, yeah. I'm using all sorts of killer plants. They filmed this on a whim. They threw this together. They wrote it in about 2 days. They rehearsed it for 3 days, and then they filmed the whole thing in just 2 days flat. Yup. They came back for reshoots, but all the principal photography, 2 days. Done and done. It's a pretty short film. It's only like a little over an hour, 70 minutes, 72 minutes long, if that. What's really interesting is that he basically filmed it on $22,000, and when he threw this together, he used pre-existing sets. There had been a filming before on the same set, and he was like, oh, I could reuse this. They said they weren't going to tear it down, so he just utilized pre-existing sets and dressed it up a little bit. It's lovely. 3. There's an obscure cranberry joke in this film, and I'll point it out when we get to it, but it's so obscure that I might as well just go into it now before the film starts, because I won't be able to tell you that much as it's playing. So this film, there's this moment where he says that, you know, oh, I got the plant next to a cranberry patch over on this side of town, instead of, you know, from a flower store from across the street of bizarre plants. What that is, it's a joke to 1959 when there was this cranberry scare, they called it, the cranberry craze. Basically, it's the first time that they found that there was pesticides on a batch of cranberries, and even though it was like in a minute amount, it was still an herbicide that apparently would cause cancer in rats. And even though it was just a very minute amount and it was trace amounts and it wouldn't actually hurt anybody, they would have to eat a carload of cranberries to get enough for it to be harmful. It still caused this huge craze. Right before Thanksgiving, they had to pull these cans of ocean spray off the shelf, so it was fresh in people's mind, like, ooh, cranberries, watch out for that. So that's the joke that's halfway through this film. It's lovely. For my final point, a 14-year-old saw this on TV in Baltimore, and here's what's up. So there was this kid named Howard, and he was living in Baltimore, Maryland, and that's him with his sister. And one night when he was 14 years old, he saw this film play on TV, and he thought it was really funny and really silly and really strange, and he already had like a weird sense of humor. I think if you were a strange kid growing up in Baltimore in the 50s and 60s, you had to have a strange sense of humor. Well, years later, he ended up bringing this up to his songwriting friend, Alan Menken, and they sat down and wrote a parody musical based off of this film. Alan Menken had never heard it before or never seen it before, but he ended up showing it to him in his college days, and he remembers laughing so hard that he could barely breathe and thought it was just really silly. And so they ended up making this show together, and it ended up playing at the WPA Playhouse up in New York, and it became a smash hit and then became the movie that we later saw. By the way, WPA, I was reading up on this, and they said that WPA didn't necessarily stand for anything. They used to joke that it stood for Will Produce Anything. And there was a sense of like, hey, just come up with some stuff and throw things out there. Let's see what's up. By the way, you can see Howard Ashman and Alan Menken down in front there hanging out. All the way over to the right, though, check out that blouse with the Mickey Mouse shirt on it. I like that as a little foretelling, cause about less than a decade after they wrote Little Shop of Horrors, Alan Menken and Howard Ashman went on to do a few small films for this company named Disney, and no one's heard of those films before. They wrote the book, the lyrics, and the music for Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin, but those are just super obscure films and no one knows their work. So, I wanted to give you guys a little sample of all of that before we do today's film. Let me make sure I have all of our stuff going here. And I have the chat room back up. Yay! Oh. Were the slides not playing? No! I see that. Let me go back here. Poop. Okay, well, I'll set my computer on fire later. My apologies. I worked so hard on those slides. All right. Technology. Let me go back here for a second. Yeah, it's still saying that. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Today's film will work, and I will make it work, god damn it. So, everything you see today, the lighting setup that I have, the nice microphone that I'm using, all that is because I have people that sponsor me on Patreon. So I want to do a shout out to everybody that is my sponsor on Patreon or people that throw money into my tip jar. By the way, I plan on doing more of these. I announced last week on a little Patreon talk that my idea is now I'm going to be doing these Monday matinees. It seems like a nice chunk of people have, at least right now, as you know, we're in the end times. Right now, Monday afternoons seem to work for people. So 5 p.m. Mondays, I'm hoping to do a cult film like this every single Monday. Next week, I'm going to do Brain That Wouldn't Die, which is a really dark, strange film, but I wanted to do a nice, light, fun one this weekend. And then on Wednesdays, I plan on doing a whole series called WTF Wednesdays, where I play a short film that's not necessarily a cult film, but it's a short film that either talked about hygiene or politics or things like that. There's a homophobic propaganda film called Boys Beware that I want to play for you guys. There is a bunch of other ones that I want to show you guys. This Wednesday I plan on doing one called Perversion for Profit, and it was a film basically alerting people to the fact that there's A, porn magazines, and B, you can get them to the mail, and C, your children can get a hold of them and get themselves converted into the fold. It's dark and wonderful and lovely, and it's just this long propaganda film that has some quotable moments in it. So I'll be reviewing that on Wednesday live back here. So if you haven't already signed up to my YouTube, now would be a great time to. If I want to bring my attention up there, if you're not a subscriber of mine, boop, if you hit subscribe right now, you will pop up above my head. Your name will appear there, as well as adding to my YouTube counter of subscribers. All of the different subscribers there hopefully will total up to 1,000, and then YouTube will treat me like a real YouTuber. So please bring me towards that goal. And also, if you sign up, that'll make the thing go off, and it'll ding, and you'll be captured on this broadcast forever. All my previous broadcasts are in a playlist attached to this video as well. So if you've missed my previous ones, you can go back and see those. Those ones, my slides actually worked, so, about that. So, without any further ado, let me just go ahead and check in the chat room. Yay, thank you for being a Patreon supporter, Kelly. And yes, thank you to all the other Patreon supporters. So yeah, if you want to get notified when all those videos happen, subscribing is the best way. Or if you just want to throw a tip to your Witcher, throw a coin to your Witcher, by all means, you can do that by going to LoganDonahoo.com, which, bam, I will do right now. Bloop. Look at that. There's a link in the chat room, all for you. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and start today's presentation. This is Little Shop of Horrors, starring starring a bunch of unknowns and a young Jack Nicholson. Someone added themselves. Hello, new subscriber. Who was it? Hello, Derek. Yay, thank you for subscribing. Feel free to send this link around, by the way, on your Facebook, YouTube, etc., whatever your favorite social media is. Go ahead and send the link. Watch it with your friends. We'll all stay together and hang out. So, without further ado, this is today's film. This is Little Shop of Horrors with a young Jack Nicholson for 3 seconds, and certain versions of this film make him look like he's Seymour. He's not Seymour. Yeah, he plays the Bill Murray role. He is a bit part. He's like a 1-second joke. Enjoy.
My name is Sergeant Joe Fink, working the 24-hour shift out of homicide. And this is my workshop, the part of town that everybody knows about, but that nobody wants to see. Where the tragedies are deeper, the ecstasy's wilder, and the crime rate consistently higher than anywhere else.
Consistently higher.
My beat.
What's really interesting is seeing all the things that they latched onto and made be a large part of the musical. Jazz music. By the way, this film has a handful of people that also were in Bucket of Blood. And there's like a whole plot there too with a guy feeding like a malevolent force, and there's a jazz soundtrack to it, and
The most terrifying period in the history of
people
my
would
feet began in a little rundown
go and
floor
say,
shop
oh, I want to
called
see that
Preshow.
one called, the one about, it's gore and it's funny and it's weird and there's this actor in it, and they would give them the wrong film.
Oh, the same as usual, Mr. Mushnik. My sister's nephew Stanley died in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh, what happened?
He got blown up, who knows how.
That's nice. Well, you would like, maybe as usual, some flowers for the funeral.
Should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind?
I thought possibly, because I always give to you all my funeral business, maybe you should possibly give to me
Okay.
a little cut rate.
Look on me, Mrs. Shiva. What
Mrs.
am I,
Shiva.
a philatelist? I sell on Skid Row nothing but cheap carnations. And I should give you a cut rate. I can't even afford water for the flowers. To my throat, I would be giving a cut.
I dreamt I dwelt in
I love this.
marble halls with
So her name is Mrs. Shiva, or Seti Shiva, which is a joke
Mrs. Shiva, that's
about Jewish
He's a
culture
nice boy.
where sitting Shiva is
What? See?
a
Look,
Jewish
here I
mourning
got a new
ritual
customer.
where you sit for
Brand
7
new in a
days and
yellow
mourn
vest.
the
I should
person.
Let the clean-up boy, but I can't even afford chase him out right away. Flowers fresh as the springtime mushniks. Hello. Oh, hello, Dr. Farb. What can I do for you today?
Listen, Mushnik, I haven't got much time. Send me over 2 gladiolas and the fern.
Excellent. That's 2 dozen glads, 1 potted fern.
No, Mushnik. 2 gladiolas and 1 fern.
Is the movie still quiet?
You want I should put 2 gladiolas in the pot with the ferns?
Let me know if the
1
film's
fern,
still
1
quiet.
piece altogether, 3 pieces. I need it for my waiting room.
Yeah, it's the filling out.
What?
A filling out.
Good, I'll drill a bigger hole.
You mean you want 2 crummy gladiolas and 1 crummy fern? What kind of a decoration is that?
Listen, it's my flower budget for the week. Mushnik. Who can be a dentist on Skid Row?
All right, excellent. I'll send Seymour right away. Who am I to argue with science?
Make it snappy. Now you are going to get it. Oh, you are going to get it. Look.
Seymour Krellboyne? Now, Mrs. Shiva, we were talking from the funeral flowers. What the little...
For funeral.
Did you call me Mr. Mushnick?
No, I was calling John D. Rockefeller
Okay.
for to make a loan on my Rolls
I brought it
Royce.
up a bit.
Sorry I said it.
Now, look, Seymour. You take 2 gladiolas. You'll cut them nice and even. You'll take 1 fern. You'll wrap them in a package, and you'll
Yeah.
take them to Dr. Farr.
Roger
Right?
Corman swore he wasn't trying to be anti-Semitic. And the
Now, what can I do for you, sir?
actor playing Mr. Mushnik is Jewish,
Travis Mushnik.
Oh, that's a good one.
but he was
Who's
doing a
gonna get my
Turkish Jewish
roses?
accent deliberately, and it is kind of hammy and
You would like maybe some orchids for a nice girl?
No, I think I'd like a couple of dozen carnations.
Carnations.
A person can't turn around these days that somebody shouldn't drop dead.
okay.
You've had more than your share of bad luck, Mrs. Shiva.
Bad
cranked
luck,
up our
she
audio.
calls. You should have so many people kick off. You would have somebody fall on the top of you, too.
What about the carnations?
You said you wanted some roses.
Yeah, for Stanley.
My carnations.
You should see what that Seymour is. Oh, here are your carnations. Wait, I'll wrap them for
Oh,
you.
that's all right. I'll leave them here.
This random character.
Why not? Of course, what else?
Goofy,
They are
weird
all
people,
right.
goofy,
Well, I've had
weird
better.
people.
Well, this is a small shop.
Oh, that's okay. You know, those big places, they're full of pretty flowers, expensive flowers. And when you raise them for looks and smell, you're bound to lose some food value. I like to eat these little out-of-the-way places.
This guy,
Such a thing, eating
Dick
flowers.
Smith, has been in a
Don't knock it till you
bunch
try it, huh?
of different weird films,
Look
horror
what
films
happened.
mostly. He plays
This is what I was
the
trying to
father
tell you before.
and mom
Look
duo
on him, everybody.
The Neighbors.
Look at the quality of his work. I asked
in
you, where I find him?
Gremlins.
Where is he going to get such another good job?
You mean I'm fired?
No, I'm electing you president from the United States. Yes, you are fired.
Gravis, you can't do that.
Who can?
Yep. It
I
is.
didn't mean it.
You didn't mean it. You never mean it. You didn't mean it the time you put up the bouquet with the get well card in the funeral parlor.
And he really
sent
is
the
eating
black
those
lilies
flowers.
to the old lady
For
in the
real.
hospital. You didn't mean it. But this time, I, Gravis Mushnik, mean it.
He means it.
But gee, Mr. Mushnick, don't I always try to do what's right? And I'm crazy about flowers. I like flowers almost as much as Audrey does.
Excellent, you're fired.
Why don't you give him a chance to resurrect himself?
I give him a chance to quit.
I ain't gonna quit.
You're a brave boy, you're fired.
But that ain't fair, Mr. Mushnick. You know what I'm doing? I'm working on a special surprise plant just for you. I'm growing a plant like you ain't never seen before.
Excellent, I can't even sell the plants I got in my shop. Out, you.
Now, wait a minute. He's got a new kind of plant you ought to look at.
I don't look on flowers, Mr. Yellow Vest. I got ancestors in the
Mr.
flower
Yellow
business
Vest.
for 200 years, but I got one shop on Skid Row, one stinking shop. I don't even like flowers.
No, you don't understand what I mean. Look, I've eaten in flower shops all over the world. And I've noticed that the places that have the most weird and unusual plants do the best business.
See?
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 What is this, a tango? All right. Explain me more.
Well, I remember one place that had a whole wall covered with poison ivy. And people came from miles around to look at that wall, and they stayed to buy.
The owner got rich.
No. He scratched himself to death in an insane asylum.
Oh, that was my cousin Harry.
All right. All right. You go home and you get this fancy
These
schmancy
jokes.
plant and you bring it back here. And if
These
Mr. Yellow Vest
jokes.
Spout says it's a draw, you still got a job. If he don't, out you go to both of you, right?
Don't worry, you'll like it. You'll see.
It was supposed to be Skid Row in Los Angeles. Then there's this whole, like, mom character in this
Radio
one.
KSIK. You've been listening to Music for Old Invalids. Our next selection is entitled Sick Room Serenade.
Seymour, is that you?
It's so dark.
Hey, here, look at my tongue.
Problematic, but
Ma, I
hysterical.
already seen your tongue.
Have you no sympathy for your poor mother? Laughing at her and mocking her illness, and she's got one foot in the grave?
Oh, I didn't mean it.
Oh, you never mean it. Oh, come on, look at my tongue.
A tongue's a tongue, Ma. They all look the same to me.
Oh, did you stop at Dr. Mallard's and get the results of my test?
Yeah, she's
Yeah, he
supposed to
said
be a
there's nothing wrong with
hypochondriac.
you.
Oh, not Dr. Mallard. He's one doctor I thought would tell the truth.
He said you should be playing fullback for the Rams.
He wants me dead. I'll bet he's assistant coroner.
Ma, I gotta go.
And I know I've got...
Yeah,
my
it said
goiter
music for
coming back.
invalids.
I can feel it
Was the
every
joke.
morning after breakfast.
Yeah, that's when you take those great...
What you got, a little surprise for me?
Open it up and see.
All right. Dr. Slurp Saddle's famous tonic.
Dr. Slurp Saddle.
To be taken internally or externally for pain and neuritis, neuralgia, headache. If hit by a truck, call your physician. Alcoholic contact, 98%. Oh, Seymour, you'll never know what this is going to do for me. Oh, I can feel that surge of warm health going through me already.
Surge of warm health.
Look, Ma, I gotta get my plant and hurry back to the shop.
You mean that lousy weed out in the kitchen?
Yeah, and if Mr. Mushnick doesn't like it, he's gonna fire me.
Apparently, my hearing's going out on me. I get the distinct impression that your job security depends on what Mushnick thinks of that thing.
Gee, it looks worse than it did this morning when I went to work. I wish I knew what to do with it.
Well, if you asked me, I'd pitch it out in the trash. I don't like my house cluttered up with rotten vegetables.
Look, Ma, I gotta hurry. Can I bring you anything?
Oh, yeah. Bring me the evening news. They're running a self-diagnosis contest. The winner gets to go to Mayo Clinic.
Self-diagnosis
Bye,
contest.
son. I'll see you the rosy edge of dawn. Drink to me, old free with thine eyes, and I will...
And put this on my bill.
I know.
Well, here
It
is,
would have been a
everybody.
fun cut-up, but
What do you think of it?
par down the set, par down the plot.
It sure is different.
It looks delicious, but don't you think it's kind of stale?
Well, it hasn't been feeling too well.
You call that a fancy plant? It looks like it never spent an LT day in its entire life.
I don't care. I like it anyway.
You like even skunk cabbage.
Yeah. What kind of a plant is this, Seymour?
Well, I'm not sure. I got the seeds from a Japanese gardener over on Central Avenue. He found them in with an order he got from a plantation next to a cranberry farm.
Fine,
Ba-dum-bum.
fine. You don't even know what is this plant you're growing.
Well, I gave it a name.
What name?
Oh, gee.
What, you gave it a dirty name? You can't even mention it?
Well,
Dirty
I named
name.
it Audrey Jr.
You named it after me. Oh, really? That's the most exciting thing anyone's ever done to me.
You poor kid. I don't think it's
Done
so much
to
I
me.
should keep on spending $10 a week on your salary.
But, Gravis, he named it after me.
I know, and if they keep it, they'll name it Mushnick's Folly because I'll be in jail for non-payment of taxes.
Are you crazy?
Who?
You. That's probably the only plant of its kind in the world. Don't you realize if Seymour can nurse that thing back to health, you'll have people coming here from all over?
You think so, you found?
I know so, you mushnick. Now, that's all I'm saying on the subject.
Ba-dum-bum.
Besides, I've got to get home. My wife's making gardenias for dinner.
Good night, you pal.
Good night. And I'll see you tomorrow. Crazy about kosher flowers.
He's a nice man.
Kosher flowers.
Maybe he knows what he's talking about. Maybe he's not so stupid. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll keep you and this dumbbell junior for a week. If you can nurse it back to health, you both can stay. If you can't, you're both fired.
Oh, gee, thank you, Mr. Mushnick.
Don't feel sad, Seymour.
Don't waste your pity on me, Audrey. I'm not worth it.
Who says you're not?
Everybody.
Yeah, I know. I think you're a fine figurative of a man, and
Yeah, I know.
I know that Audrey Jr. will be the sweetest thing in the whole wide world.
Next time someone
No, I
fishes
don't
for
know.
compliments, I'm just saying,
Give
yeah,
it
I
every
know.
kind of fancy fertilizer and atomic plant food and distilled mineral water you can buy, but it just gets sicker and sicker.
Don't worry. You're going to be another Luther Glendale.
Pasadena.
Burbank. Good night, Seymour.
Night, Audrey. What's the matter, little plant? Haven't I done everything I could for you?
Grow for
Where
me.
did I goof? You're the first little plant I ever tried to grow, and if you die, I don't know what I'll do. Please don't die. I'll get you some water, okay?
Just to establish that it's turning night.
Oh, gee. You opened up just like you do every night at sunset. I wish I knew how to make you grow.
I like that
Here,
there's
let me
like
move this out of
cotton
your
batting.
way so you can breathe. Ow! Ow, 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 ow! Hey, what happened? How come you woke up? Blood? You like blood? Oh, you must be kidding. Well, we'll see. You don't know what I'm doing for you. Oh, who would have thought it? Well, I guess there's just no accounting for people's tastes.
Fantastic with a PH and a K. Fantastic.
Seymour!
My boy!
You're the most magnanimous person in the whole world.
Look on him, Audrey. Isn't he beautiful? Isn't he delicious?
Look on him.
Isn't he got the $2 raise? What happened to your fingers?
Bee stings. So how come I'm all of a sudden so wonderful?
5
Bee
bees,
stings.
one for each finger?
10 bees. Did you say I was getting a $2 raise?
Correct, my very excellent Seymour. 10 bees.
What did I do now?
Don't you know what you did? Just look.
Oh, boy, look at that. It grew. It's almost a foot long.
Isn't it imperial?
It grows like a cold sore from the lip. Oh, hello,
Like a
young pretty
cold sore
ladies. What
from
did
the lip.
Gravis Mushnik do for you?
Well, we saw your sign outside.
About the Audrey Jr.
So we thought we'd come in and take a look.
Well, give a look.
That makes 4 people today who've come in just to look at it.
Oh, did
What
you?
a strange and
That's
unusual
just
plant.
Too much. Oh, what kind of plant is it?
It's an Audrey Jr.
Where was it you got in trouble with 10 bees?
Well, is that all? I mean, doesn't it have a scientific name?
Yes, of course, but who could denounce it? You would like maybe to buy something.
Well, we don't have any money. Except $2,000.
But that's just to spend on flowers.
So we don't have any of our own.
Isn't that a drag?
You got just $2,000 just for to spend on flowers?
That's right.
Who died? The Chamber of Commerce?
Well, we're from Cucamonga High School.
We're building a float,
For the Rose Bowl parade.
which is made out of flowers.
Thousands of them.
And we're on the committee
That picks the florist.
and then glues on the flowers.
Gee, that sure is a mad plan.
Yep.
Wow, yeah.
Side plot
Seymour
cut.
here invented it.
He did.
Thousands of flowers. Girls, please don't damage the horticulturist. Tell me, how come you don't buy
Don't
all these
damage the whore.
thousands of flowers from Gravis
Horticulturist.
Mushnik? My flowers got something the others don't.
A footlong is
that?
always
The
Miracle Warren.
Well, gee,
Yes.
if your shop is good enough to develop the Audrey Jr., I guess it can get us everything we need.
Yeah, we'll talk it over with the rest of the committee.
Well, we gotta run now. Bye, all.
Bye, Seymour.
Bye. Bye, girls.
It's more of a payoff to have just a rush of business rather than like, oh, we'll pay you $2,000 in a few weeks.
A son. Look, Audrey. I got a son.
Oh, gee, Mr. Mushnik.
What, Mr. Mushnik? I don't want you should call me Mr. Mushnik anymore. I want you should call me Dad.
Okay, Dad.
Isn't that beautiful?
Seymour Krellboyne.
Show them something a foot long and they ask you to call them
About
Dad.
the future.
That's how this
Look on this
works.
fly trap. Look on it.
Yeah, it's
Soon
specifically
we got
supposed
no
to be
more
set in
Skid
LA.
Row. We
Specifically.
will be rich,
Like
us. I am
Skid Row,
building for
LA.
you a giant greenhouse in which you are making impossible flowers, which in turn I am selling at ridiculous prices in my giant new flower saloon in
Ridiculous.
Beverly Hills.
Ils.
Do you see that big sign in the sky? It is saying Gravis Mushnik in French.
Isn't it exciting? And we'll have an orchestra right by the cash register. And Gravis will wave his arms, and the orchestra will play Mendelssohn's Spring Song. And I'll come out in a gown wrapped by somebody expensive and say,
The carnations are $600 a dozen, 2 dozen for 1,000.
It's a bargain.
get 'em while they last.
Stop shouting! My Uncle Marsh's brother Yankel just passed away, Tenafly, New Jersey. Tell me, how much are the carnations today?
The carnations are $600 a dozen.
And why are they letting him run around loose?
Please excuse my son, Mrs. Shiver. Just point to anything in the store and it is yours.
I mean,
That's right.
the cash register maybe, huh?
Wait a minute. Here are several
Yeah.
dozen carnations on the house courtesy of Gravis Mushnik the Bloom Tycoon.
That's my dad.
Thanks. Thanks very much.
That's his dad.
Only tell me, why are you so happy? Not only did my Uncle Marsh's brother Yankel die, Tenafly, New
Yankel.
Jersey.
Jersey.
You should also give some flowers to that poor dead plant there. Good morning, Mr. Mushnik. Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Shiver.
No, it's supposed to be
What
dead,
happened to
I
my
guess.
plant, Dad?
Who are you calling Dad? Who?
Oh,
Dad.
no. And it was so beautiful just a few seconds ago.
Excellent. Just a few seconds ago, I gave away dozens of carnations free to Mrs. Shiver.
Is it explicitly New York for the musical?
Perhaps an explanation.
It's Skid
Oh,
Row,
but if you give me a minute,
which
I'll
is
think of
technically
one.
part of LA.
I can see it all now. We are in the poorhouse. That big sign in the sky, it is reading, Seymour Krellboyne, rest in peace, in Arabic.
Oh, you've got to give him another chance.
You promised me a week,
In
Mr.
Arabic.
Mushnik. I'll sit up all night with that plant. It'll be healthy in the morning. You'll
Can't
see.
make this up.
I promise. I promise.
Yeah.
Feed me.
Oh, he said the thing.
Feed me.
He said the thing again.
Feed me.
Oh, it does feature Empire State Building. You're right.
You said that. You said
Or
that.
the Statue of Liberty.
Feed me.
But it's supposed to be like everywhere at the end. Like
Said that.
major cities.
can talk.
Everywhere.
I got a talking plant. Say it again.
Feed me.
Oh, boy. I never been to college and I ain't been around much. But I'd have been willing to bet there ain't no such thing as a talking plant. But I'll take your word for it. Gee, Junior, I'd like to feed you. But I used up all my fingers.
So that's the author's
I'm all
voice.
cut to pieces.
The guy that wrote the script.
Maybe I can find another drop here someplace.
And it's supposed to be a scratch track of him saying "feed me," like "feed me," and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll put in an actor
That's the
afterwards."
best I can do.
More.
But I'm already anemic.
But they kept it because it's funny.
Feed me more.
Gee, Junior, I'd be happy to give you anything I got. But I gotta keep a little blood for myself or I'll be in worse shape than Mom. I'm sorry, Junior.
Worse
I'll
shape
go
than
for a
Mom.
walk. Maybe I'll think of something.
You'll think of something. Do 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 do. The seedy underbelly of Los Angeles, California. You know what? In both versions, they have the radio joke be WSK something. Like, so this one's SKD? I think. And W is not West Coast. Don't you hate it when you accidentally just like bean a drunk in the head with a rock? They have this whole thing with Seymour being clumsy in this. Because then shaky cam. Yep.
Oh, my God.
So he gets his tote bag. Well, someone died on the tracks. LOL. By the way, a person just fits in a pillowcase like that.
Daddy, there's somebody out there.
Well, it's not deliberate murder. This one's an accident, too. I like the way Mushnik Deliveries is painted on the wall. It's all... Lots plants, cheap. Just lots plants.
Feed me. Feed me.
Look, Chowhound, don't bother me. I got problems of my own.
Feed me.
I'm sorry, pal. I'm fresh out of blood. Talk to somebody else.
I'm hungry.
I don't care what you are. Can't you see I'm knocked out? I just killed a man. I'm a murderer. You think it's fun to be a murderer? You think it's fun to haul around a sack full of...
Food.
Oh, no, Junior. What kind of guy do you think I am?
I'm starved.
Well, maybe just a snack.
So good. His little laugh.
That looks great.
Now that is what I call a salad.
Not the baby, gotta love me.
Cesarean.
Well, before the next course, I think I'll have a nice cigar. All right? You would like maybe a cigar? You don't smoke cigars. What am I thinking about? Where are the matches? Oh, oi. You know what I found?
What?
I'm looking for the matches. And I found I left the money in the other suit.
Here's your mock chicken legs.
You don't have any money?
So what else is new?
All right. I made a mistake. After all, a man is entitled.
Go on, this is your story. I'll wait for the punch.
Don't get smart with me, girlie. I'll have you know that in my shop in the cash register, I'm having the total day's receipts, which is summing up to more than $9. You'll bring the rest of the food, then I'll go to the shop and get the money.
You're playing my favorite song. Now look here, Buster. One of you is going to go down right now and get the loot, while the other one stays here until the first one gets back, if you get what I mean.
Oh, fine. In this fancy schmancy restaurant, you are holding hostages, right?
Right.
Excellent. You eat up, Audrey. I'll be back in a flash with the cash.
Bye, Gravis.
Let's assume that the plant just grows to learn the language around itself. Let's assume.
Reason to be jolly. La, 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 la. It's the season to
Christmas
be
carols.
jolly. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. It's the season to be jolly.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a scratch track, and they just thought it was funny, so they kept it. The plant voice. Feed me!
You flush now, right?
Bring me whiskey, rum, wine, gin, bourbon.
What?
Scotch, rye, tequila, sake, Manischewitz.
Did you bring the money?
Don't bug me with the money. I got to get drunk now.
What flipped him?
I don't know.
Look, here, take it. Bring me anything. Bring me everything. Creme de menthe. Everything you got.
Okay.
Gravis,
It's so specific.
you look like you've seen a ghost.
Ghosts I could handle. Don't ask.
Why don't you tell me? Maybe I could help you.
Help you couldn't.
Try and eat something. It'll calm your aggravation.
In mine own shop.
Look at you knowing.
Audrey, you
Mock
wouldn't believe
chicken.
I wish you'd break out and tell me.
All right, I'll tell you tomorrow, right after I am telling the police.
But Mushnick didn't come to the police.
No, he didn't.
If he had, that might have been the finish of the unhappy story. It was not.
What a strange and unusual plant. Yeah, in this one, I don't think they...
$85 worth of business already, and we barely opened.
I don't think they ever say specifically that the plant is an alien. I'm trying to remember if that's a thing in this one. I don't think it is.
Mr. Mushnick, we talked to the committee, and they said we could use your flower on the float. Hey, guess what? We're going to feature Audrey Jr. Right on top.
Boy.
Can't you just picture it?
I can picture it.
Oh, won't the people just eat it up?
Eat up
I
the
get
people.
these
And we're going to have the big
offers.
part of it open.
Eat up
so
the
she can
people.
sit in it.
But
The queen with her crown and scepter. She'll be so cute. Oh, you could just eat her up.
Eat up the girl.
Oh, there's Seymour! Oh, there
Eat up the girl.
Oh, I got a tooth.
Yeah.
I got a toothache. Leave me alone.
You come
Oh, my
here.
jaw, I got a toothache. It hurts. Oh, let go of my jaw.
It's trying to have that sort of like Dragnet whodunit
Now, Seymour.
voice.
Talk,
Like
honey.
that's totally the vibe of the whole thing.
What do you want to talk about?
That plant, is that a nice subject for to talk?
The plant is great. It's 4 times bigger than it was yesterday.
I saw. How come the plant is now so big?
I don't know. But look at all them people out there. We only been open a half hour. We already done $70 worth of business.
85. Now look, Seymour. You gave this
That
plant
he
a fancy
knows
name, Audrey
offhand.
Jr., but I want to know right now, what do just people call it?
Well,
Problematic
it's a cross
jokes.
between a Butterworth and a Venus flytrap.
Venus flytrap. And what are the habits of this Venus flytrap?
Well, the book says it eats insects. It eats them 3 times in its life, and then it's full grown.
Excellent. And how many times is this one eat?
Well, once or twice.
You don't remember?
Well, this is kind of an unusual type fly trap.
Strange and unusual.
It may never eat again. I don't see how it could get any bigger.
Then you think it don't need any more flies?
Yeah. Oh, my tooth is just killing me.
All right, excellent. You run along to the dentist. I'll take care of things here.
Thanks, boss.
Gravis, we've got to order more flowers. Tons of them.
I'm making lots of money.
Yeah. The character's kind of problematic.
That'll teach you to keep your bill up to date, you deadbeat. Go ahead and run, you sniveling dog. Go ahead and run. I'm glad I heard you. I'm glad. Seymour. Got a
So
bad
well
tooth,
done.
huh? No, I thought this was the men's room. Seymour, come back.
I thought
You
this was
bad
the men's
dog.
room.
You get in there. So, you
Yeah,
are the
no,
young
there's
man
no
who ruined my gladiolas,
specific
huh?
Audrey
Sit
dentist
down.
plot.
Come
Like, that's not a
on.
thing. The dentist exists, Audrey exists. That's it.
Guess what? My tooth stopped hurting. Yes, I know. Let's see. Shut up and open up. Uh-huh. Does that hurt?
Yeah!
Good, you haven't felt anything yet. Uh-huh.
It's just over here.
Seymour, who was the dentist here, you or me? I'll find that tooth. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Look at that stalagmite. But don't worry, it's going to be an easy one, Seymour. I won't even use Novocaine.
Oh, you broke the mirror in my mouth.
Well, don't tell me about it, stupid. Just swallow it. All right, yes. Let's see now, Seymour.
Just
See,
swallow
I'll
the
have
mirror.
this one, and that one, and I have to have this one, Seymour.
It's only one tooth.
Seymour, who is the dentist here, you or me? Are you practicing dentistry without a license? No. All right. Let's see. Oh, shh. Seymour, Seymour, don't be mad. Look at that. Will you look at that, Seymour? I didn't know you were an elk.
An elk.
You know, I can't afford an assistant. So I get this ready instant mix. It doesn't last very long, but it tastes good.
Yeah, the
All
idea
right,
that he's
Seymour.
using the stuff on himself
Stay
is
away
from
from
this.
me.
Seymour,
You're trying to kill me.
a duel! Aha!
Is this Stoddard's office?
Just a minute.
Oh, Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yes. I see it is.
His little giggle as he picks up a magazine that's called Pain.
You can come in now.
Yeah, this one he pretends to be the dentist.
My name is Wilberforce.
Wilberforce what?
Just Wilberforce. My first name is Wilbur. My last name is Force.
Will
I
Force.
don't have a middle name.
Well, you have an appointment, maybe?
No, but you were very highly recommended to me by one of your patients, Mrs. Shiva. I do a lot of undertaking for her relatives.
Well, as you can see, I have a customer now, and I'm all
He's
booked
the
up
undertaker
for
for
the rest
Mrs.
of the day, so
Shiva.
you have to come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't do that. I have 3 or 4 abscesses, a touch of pyorrhea, 9 or 10 cavities. I lost
No,
my
I don't
pivot
think he
tooth,
was.
And I'm in terrible pain.
This is his first horror
I can't
movie.
help you today.
Oh, that's all
I believe.
right. I'll just wait outside.
Vincent Price was in those.
The patient came to me with a large hole in his abdomen.
caused by a fire poker used on him by his wife. He almost bled to death and gangrene had set in. I didn't give him much of a chance. There were other complications.
His little giggle.
Man had cancer, tuberculosis, leprosy, and a touch of the grip. I decided to operate.
My patient just left. You could come in now.
Oh, goody. I didn't see the other man leave.
Well, he went out the back door.
Ba-dum-bum.
You know, most people don't like to go to the dentist, but I rather enjoy it myself, don't you? I mean, there's a real feeling of growth, of progress when that old drill goes in. I mean, I'd almost rather go to the dentist than anywhere, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Now, no Novocaine. It dulls the senses.
This is gonna hurt you more than it is me.
Oh, goody, goody, here it comes. Oh, my God, don't stop now!
Well, I made a lot of holes, and now I gotta fill it up with this here silver stuff.
Well, aren't you gonna pull any?
Well,
Oh, go on.
Well, it's your mouth.
Jack Nicholson.
Well, Dr. Favre, it's been quite an afternoon. I can truly say I've never enjoyed myself so much. I'll recommend you to all my friends.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye now.
Ba-dum-bum. That's the beginning, middle, and end of Jack Nicholson's performance in this film.
Feed me.
Meanwhile,
Take
at
it
the
easy,
Build-A-Bear
Dracula.
workshop
What do you think
gone
I'm
wrong.
carrying here, my dirty laundry? I'm coming already.
We don't letting you spend so much.
This should be enough for anybody.
Nope.
Well, goodbye, Dr. Favre. You may have been a crummy dentist, but you were a nice fella. I never meant to kill anybody in my whole life. I've killed 2 in the last 2 days. Well, but you asked for it coming after me with that knife and all. Fun voyage, Dr. Favre. You want anything else? See you in the morning.
Oh, I didn't know that about Jack Nicholson.
Come in.
Meanwhile, on the Dragnet plot that we haven't even touched,
Come on in, Frank. How's the wife, Frank?
Not bad, Joe.
Glad to hear it.
over halfway through.
Lost one yesterday.
Lost one, eh? How'd that happen?
Playing some matches.
Well, those are breaks.
Yeah, I guess so.
Got a
One of
strange
my
one
kids
here.
died.
Railroad
Bum, bum.
people say they lost one of their best detectives the other night.
Oh, yeah?
Down by the yards. He was watching the refrigerator cars.
Refrigerator cars?
Ice thieves.
Oh, yeah? What happened?
Don't know. Vanished. Blood on tracks.
Clues?
None.
Anything else?
Dennis. Farb.
Dead?
Missing.
Clues?
Blood in office.
Where?
Skid Row.
Ideas?
None.
Check it out.
Yeah.
It's so simplistic. Check it out. Yeah.
Now we are on the case. Officer Frank Stooley and me. My name is Fink.
Fink
Sergeant
and
Joe Fink.
Stooley.
I'm a Fink.
Yeah, he did look down the barrel of his gun.
Morning, Mr. Mushnick. Oh, boy, look at that.
Hi, everybody. Oh, my gosh.
Ain't it something?
It's monstrositous.
Yeah.
monstrosities.
Think that you did it.
Gee, Audrey, you don't have to kiss me.
Don't you like me to kiss you?
Aww.
Yeah, but you don't like to kiss me.
Why shouldn't I?
Nobody else ever did.
Well, I do like to.
You do? You really do? You like to kiss me?
Sure I do.
Would you like to kiss me again?
Okay.
That's planned.
Oh, boy, you kiss good, Audrey.
Oh, I guess I just have a good kisser.
How did it?
Ba-dum-bum.
Would you like to go out on a date with me some night?
Very.
Oh, sure I would, Seymour. Anytime.
Tonight?
Okay.
Oh, boy.
About that plant.
We got the list of flowers for the float, for the Rose Parade.
I can't talk to you now, girls. Talk on Audrey.
We got the list for the float.
Okay, let's take a look at it.
Okay.
Hi, what's cooking?
Look at my plant.
My, what a large one.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Shiva. What's new?
Oh, I got terrible news. My nephew Frankie just lost his little boy.
Oh, that's too bad. How did it happen?
He was playing with matches.
Would you like to buy me
Everyone's
some flowers?
related to Mrs. Shiva.
About 50 cents worth.
Well, I'll get them for you. Look at my plant.
I'm looking.
Your name Gravis Mushnick?
Look, I'm a Mushnick Gravis. That's my name.
Just want to ask you a few questions.
Questions, ask me.
Just
about-
want to ask you a few questions.
I didn't do it.
Do what?
Whatever.
Ever see this man?
Man, see picture.
Why are you so nervous?
Got a guilty conscience?
No, why should I?
Ever see this man?
Man, see the picture. Dr. Farb.
So you know him.
My dentist. He maybe did something.
Disappeared.
Blood in his office.
The other man, too. Blood in the railroad tracks.
And few spare parts.
Dr. Farb is murdered.
Is he?
No, who knows? Not me.
What do you think?
He doesn't know anything.
Okay, Mushnick. If you hear anything about these men, call our office.
Sure, I'll be glad to cooperate with the police.
Hello, Aunt Sitting.
Oh, isn't it terrible what happened to your boy, Frankie?
Those are the brakes.
Your son died, isn't it horrible?
All right, Seymour. Now you tell me if that plant
Hardened
is finished
police
all
work.
grown up.
He's finished all growing up.
You wouldn't kid your father.
My father came home.
Me, idiot! It's a figure of speech.
My father came home.
I can't stand any more of that plant.
Poor
It's
Seymour.
growing me out of house and home.
Well, it ain't gonna grow anymore, I promise.
How can you be so sure?
It ate 3 times already.
What did it eat this time?
Well, about 1 million Japanese beetles.
So don't eat no more.
It's full.
Gravis! There's a lady from some kind of a committance outside. I think it's important.
Excellent. By the by, I understand you want to take Audrey out on a date tonight. That's very good with me, because I am staying to keep an eye on that Meshuggah plant.
Where are we going to go tonight, Seymour?
Well, I just remembered I don't have any money.
Well, that's okay. We could take a walk along the ocean or something.
I got a great idea. We can eat dinner at my house. My mom's a great cook.
Well, that's swell.
Oh, boy, I'll call her later and tell her.
Always. I always want things to go well for Audrey.
You lied?
Oh, I neither like nor dislike anything, my goodness. I happen to represent the Society of Silent Flower Observers of Southern California.
Silent Flower Observers.
Tell me, who created this magnificent bloom?
I did, me.
And what might your name be?
Seymour Krelboyne with a K.
Krelboyne.
Krelboyne.
Raised it in a coffee can.
Krelboyne.
This? Well, tell me, Mr. Krelboyne, is this a freak, or can more be raised from the seeds?
We should live so long.
Well, I don't think there are going to be any more, Miss,
Fuschtwanger. Mrs. Hortense Fuschtwanger.
I think this is going to be the only one, Mrs. Fuschtwanger.
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 It's probably indigestible anyway.
At any rate, I have the honor to tell you, Seymour Krelboyne, that you have been selected to receive the annual trophy of the Society of Silent Flower Observers of Southern California.
A trophy? Me?
Such is justice.
Tell me, when do you suppose those large buds will open?
Well, according to what the book says about the plants that I crossed, they should open day after tomorrow at
Plants
sunset.
that I crossed.
Very well. Then I shall return at that time to present the trophy. Good day.
Remarkable.
So she remarked.
Oh, boy, I'm going to get a trophy.
Oh, Seymour, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, a real trophy for Audrey Jr. We can put it on the float. In the Rose Parade.
Oh, boy.
Mushnick was in Shopping
I'm
Mall?
a terrible sight. I'm a complete sea hag.
I thought it was the guy that eats the
Well,
flowers.
it's true. I haven't been
He plays the
feeling very
janitor.
well lately.
Audrey, this is my ma, Winifred Krelboing. Ma, this is Audrey Fulcourt. She's my girl.
Hi, Audrey. Are you hungry?
I sure am. I could eat a hearse.
Oh, well, sit right down, and I'll go get the first course.
Sit here, Audrey. You want me to take your sweater?
It's so simple. It's so well done.
Never mind that. Well, now try this.
Dinner.
It tastes like cough syrup.
Dr. Flynn's cough syrup. A toast?
To Audrey
Oh, he
Jr.
played the
No,
cook?
Audrey Sr.
Yes! That makes me so happy. Come on, multiple roles from Chopping Mall. If y'all have never seen Chopping Mall, oh my god. I think it was originally called like Deathbot 5000 or something. Killer robots in a shopping mall. Everything.
You glutton, you.
I wish I could play
Tonight I
that.
keep an eye on you. I don't let nobody get near you.
Here comes the soup. Now, don't touch it till I get the flavoring.
Gee, Audrey, you sure look good by candlelight.
Oh, do I really, Seymour?
Yeah.
Here you are.
Just pours all the salt.
Sure smells different.
Oh god.
Some kind of oil, isn't it?
Cod liver oil. It's wonderful for the colon.
And that's sulfur powder on the top.
The fact that the plant makes a door sound.
Feed me.
That is relatable.
I'm hungry.
The minute quarantine is over, I'm just gonna hear a door sound as my legs open.
Feed me.
No?
It is.
Feed me. Feed me.
I didn't hear it.
Feed me.
I heard it.
I want food.
I love this voice.
Plenty got.
I'm hungry.
No. Hungry. Ain't that a fine kettle of fish? Who would you like to have tonight?
You look fat enough.
You look fat enough.
We not only got a talking plant, we got one that makes with smart cracks. Will you listen to me, you botanical bum? Food you wouldn't get. Not from Gravis Mushnick.
I'm starved.
Excellent. You would unpopulate the whole Skid Row. Well, you can forget about it. You wouldn't get fed from Gravis Mushnick tonight.
Gravis.
Good night.
You'll get yours.
You'll get yours.
I kind of like this chow mein.
If it tastes a little bitter, it's because it's made of Chinese herbs and it's flavored with acromycin and Epsom salts.
There ain't another cook in the whole world like my ma.
That's what your old man said before the louse ran out on me. You know, if you're going to be married, you got to be a good cook.
Well, maybe you could teach me.
You thinking of getting married?
Well, he hasn't asked me yet.
Who hasn't?
Seymour.
Seymour's too young to get married. Look here, a boy's got to go out and play around a little bit. Go out on the make and have a ball.
Seymour, I don't want to have a ball. I want to be with Audrey.
No, look, Seymour. You promised you wouldn't get married until you bought me an iron lung.
You've been breathing for years, Ma.
Well, it ain't easy. It ain't easy, son.
This ongoing hypochondriac plotline with the mom. I love that as a hiding spot for them. For Mr. Mushnick.
Nobody here. Black Cat, 13th job, Friday the 13th is stupid superstition. All right, you. Come out of there.
Don't shoot, mister. I'm old and sick. I wouldn't hurt even a fly.
Come out in the light where I can see you.
Come on.
The guy apparently like walked past a black cat, and it's Friday the 13th.
You wouldn't want to kill me. Where would you hide the body?
Don't worry, I'm not going to shoot you.
Mm-hmm.
Not unless you try something.
Try something? I never tried anything in my life.
Audrey and the plant eater
my money, take it.
were the couple.
Go out and steal you some more? That's all right.
Futterman, thank you.
Thank you very much. I like your brand of hospitality.
Like the.
You'll excuse it, Mr. Moore. I'm only a poor florist.
Yeah. We got about $30 here. Come on now. Where's the rest of it? I was in here this afternoon. I saw about 30,000 people in here. They must have spent some money. Where is it?
There ain't no more money. They came in to look on the plant. It's a big attraction. Audrey Jr.
The plant. Don't try to slow me, Jim. 30,000 squares didn't come in here just to look for a plant. I want it.
I don't got no more money, honest. Believe me.
Okay, let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, I ain't got no more money, honest.
All right, try it the other way around. 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right already.
Okay, Big Bad, where?
I'm not saying that the robber is hot, but the robber is hot.
Plant. The big plant, Audrey Jr.
Inside the big leaf.
That's right, inside.
Look inside the plant.
How do you get it open?
Just knock.
The door sounds. I love the hair on the inside. It makes it look all organic and.
Inside, in the bottom.
I don't see anything.
Way inside. Right in the bottom. What I did. I don't care what you got at the date with Audrey tonight. I am no more sitting up with that no-good Nick plant.
No good Nick plant.
But gee, Mr. Mushnick, you don't have to sit up with it anymore. It's all grown up now.
Excellent, smart guy. How do you know it don't be hungry no more?
Well, because...
Tonight you are staying. Then tomorrow they're coming and they're going to give you a trophy, and then after that we are getting rid once and for all for that plant.
Getting rid of it? Why?
Don't ask why. Why? The end. Into the garbage can. Aloha. Oy. Yes, Mrs. Shiva.
Oh, Seymour, you wonderful plant.
Oh, that's all right, Audrey. I'll grow other plants, even more wonderful ones.
I know you will. Did you figure out what we're doing tonight?
Yeah, we're going to a place full of beautiful flowers.
We have to stay here.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. We'll have a picnic. It'll be just like going to the country.
Oh,
Did you
boy.
get the 3,000 pink azaleas for the arbor and the 9,000 yellow mums for the border?
Yeah,
and the roses for the front and the back?
No, around the back. What do you mean you're going to a picnic at night with that Folkward girl?
I love the old
like Audrey,
world like
Mom?
photograph.
She's out after your money.
I don't have any money.
Oh, she's a smart one. She'll latch on to you until you get some, and then goodbye fortune.
But Audrey's an honest girl, Ma.
Yeah, never trust a woman who's too healthy.
But Audrey had a bad cold a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, a cold, a puny cold. Why don't you get yourself a real female with something decent like mononucleosis or gallstones?
Well, maybe she could catch something like that.
The only thing she'll catch is you.
And she'd take you off to some shady sanitarium and leave me to chiropractors and faith healers. I know when I'm not wanted.
Oh, gee, Ma.
Don't feel sorry for me. I'll just find a nice wet alley somewhere and curl up and wait for the end.
Nice.
Oh, please don't die till I get back,
alley.
will you, Ma? I'll take care of you. I'll always take care of you. I promise.
Yeah.
Bye. Gee, Audrey, I never tasted food like this before.
It's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Peanut butter and jelly, what does that cure?
Nothing, it's just a food.
Well, what good is it if it doesn't clear up pimples or shrink your sinus tissues or something?
You're just being silly, Seymour. Seymour, what do you want to be?
Well, I want to grow things. If I had a lot of money, I'd go to the South Seas where they grow the most fabulous plants in the world.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to the South Seas, too.
There's no reason why you couldn't go.
Would you take me with you, Seymour?
Oh, I couldn't very well go without you, Audrey.
Why not?
Oh, because I'm in love with you, Audrey.
Oh, I'm in love with you, too, Seymour.
Feed me.
What'd you say?
I was just kidding.
I'm hungry.
Seymour.
I didn't mean it.
Why did you say it?
Oh, food.
You didn't even say that.
Oh, yes, I did. I said it.
Oh, I'm looking right at you.
I'm a ventriloquist.
You're what?
A ventriloquist.
Feed me.
Seymour, do you feel all right?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, then stop all this
It's so
nonsense
good.
and kiss me.
I'm dying from hunger.
All right, if you're so hungry, eat something, but forget about me.
Gee, I'm sorry, Audrey.
Give me to eat.
If you can't control yourself, I'm going home.
I need some chow.
Oh,
I don't like the idea of
An empty stomach.
the plant making Audrey be upset.
I've listened to all the nonsense I want to hear, Seymour. You're a nut. You tell me that you love me, and then you act like a complete idiot.
Please listen, Audrey. I'll be able to explain everything soon.
Her dress
Why
is
can't
so
you
fitted.
explain now?
Because so many things are so important. I want to marry you, but I got to take care of Mom. Well, that plant in there is going to make it all come true. Tomorrow they're going to give me a trophy, and I'll be famous. I'll be a big botanist. And then we can go to the South Seas, just like we planned and all.
But that doesn't have anything to do with what went on in there.
So
When you're ready to come to your senses, Seymour, then I'll talk to you.
earlier they talk about Skid
night,
Row,
Seymour.
LA. Like, they talk about all the Southern California stuff. There's a Southern California thing, the Rose Bowl. All that's California. I don't
I'm
know.
getting pretty tired of you.
I need food.
I don't care what you need. Look what you done to me. You not only made a butcher out of me, but you drove my girl away.
Shut up and bring on the food.
Don't tell me to shut up. You shut up. Who raised you from a bunch of little seeds? Who fed you all them high-class fertilizers and sat up all night with you when you were sick? Nobody else would have done that for you. Do you think anybody else would have brought you human beings to eat? You're darn right they wouldn't. Well, I've helped you, and you've helped me. Now shut your trap and go to sleep. I'm tired.
Krellbein, turn around. Close your eyes. You are asleep.
Can
Open
hypnotize.
your eyes. Now you will do as I say. Do you follow me?
Yes, master.
You will go out and find me some food.
Yes, master.
Now be gone.
Yes,
Waste
master.
no time.
It's such a weird plot line. Like, where Seymour doesn't have free agency anymore. Seymour is now hypnotized by the plant. I wonder if the original Cookie Monster was deliberately making that voice sound like that. This is 1960. This predates Sesame Street. That is the most subtle thing ever. Just... Just drop your handkerchief in the most aggressive fashion ever. The banana peel.
My name is Leonora Clyde. How's the rain on the rhubarb?
Leonora Clyde.
Master is hungry.
Master! Master!
Well, hello there.
Ba-dum-bum.
I gotta find food for Master. Food I gotta find for Master. For Master, I gotta find food.
Maybe I can help.
Who are you?
My name is Leonora Clyde. I love you.
Master wants food.
Let the old goat wait. The night is young, and so are we.
Master doesn't eat goat.
The Leonora Clyde method of flirting.
Well, what kind of food does he like?
Mmm.
Ooh. That's more like it. Kiss me. What's the matter? Don't you like me?
Too bony.
Too bony? Nobody ever told me that before.
Beef is better than veal.
Beef
such a
is
dodo.
better.
What do you call this?
Veal.
Chopped liver?
Master would like more fat.
Speak for yourself, John.
My name is Seymour.
My name is Seymour.
That's my name, too.
Are you interested, or are you just wasting my time?
I never thought anybody would volunteer. Do you volunteer?
Sure I do.
All right, if you're sure you want to volunteer.
All right, my place or yours?
I don't care.
Well, flip a coin.
I don't have a coin.
Flip anything, silly.
Well, there's a rock. Wet or dry?
Wet.
Dun 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 dun. The wet side of the rock. It's so wet.
The search was narrowing, and we knew that soon we would have the killer. Not that we had any more clues than before, but we had to tell the chief something.
Skid Row
I had that
Seminary.
feeling in my bones that the mystery was drawing to its climax.
The good news
I was
mission.
determined to be on hand.
All right, out. Nobody is in. Today we have a special occasion for Seymour Krelboyne, which has invented the big plant. So I want everybody should please stay out of the way.
We want Seymour! We want Seymour! We want Seymour! Seymour!
I tell you, this business is worse than being a conductor in a revoluting door. I'll be glad when this day is finished.
What's the celebration?
They're presenting my son with a trophy.
Yeah, what'd he do, run away from home?
Please don't look at me that way, Audrey. I want to talk to you.
I'm sorry, Seymour. I just don't understand you.
I'll explain everything after the ceremony.
You, police, what are you doing here?
Heard there was something going on here this evening.
Just thought we'd come by and keep an eye on things.
Look, we don't need no eyes kept on nothing. Everything.
The Society of Silent Flower Observers has arrived, and sunset is almost upon us.
Welcome, lady and gentlemen. We are honored for to have you.
Still working on those disappearances.
We think they were murdered.
Hey, look here, young man. That's no way to talk at a time like this. Let me see your tongue. Uh-huh. Now, what you got?
Just the facts, ma'am.
Trench mouth. I know, I had it back in '09.
Better have that looked into, Frank.
Whatever you say, Joe.
Mr. Krelboyne.
Trench mouth
The
in
sun is going
1909.
down now, and you do think those buds are going to open?
I hope so.
Because if they don't, Mr. Krelboyne, we shall just have to present the award at another time.
Oh, it's starting to open.
Yes, Mark. Oh, look, the first bite is open.
The noise.
Isn't that the railroad cop? Look at the rest.
What do you think, Frank?
They're all there, Joe.
Yes, you're right. Mr. Crowboy, how do you explain this?
I didn't mean it. That's right, officer. He didn't mean to kill them. Am I?
Seymour, you promised you'd explain.
Looks like they're getting away, Joe.
Yes, you're right. Let's catch him.
Right.
Dragnet plot. Things that don't happen.
Oh, now the float will be perfect. Yeah.
The fact that the kids want dead people face flowers for their float. The whole city. Chase sequences don't work well in musicals, so I'm glad they kind of cut this. Just shoot right over someone's shoulder. It's fine. Meanwhile, on the set for Cats, this is the weirdest CrossFit I've ever been to. His little leap. He disappeared. This film's got everything, including the kitchen sink. I love the scratching.
You wouldn't find him here with the toilets. Let's
Chin.
go back.
Or would you? Sitting in a toilet. Sitting in a toilet. Sitting in a toilet. Sitting in a toilet. Now flush. And now for the
You
denouement.
dirty rat plant, you messed up my whole life.
Relatable.
I'll feed you. I'll feed you like you never been fed before.
Huh? Oh, Seymour's mom dressed up in her flapper finery. Nom 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 nom. But Seymour never explained. What happened?
Give up, gentlemen. You wouldn't find him tonight.
Look, the door's open, Frank.
Oh.
He was such a good boy.
Dun dun dun.
Seymour! I didn't mean it.
The end. Oh my word. Did you guys enjoy that? Was that everything you needed? That was Little Shop of Horrors, directed by Roger Corman, shot in 2 days, with Jack Nicholson and Dick Smith and a bunch of other actors that went on to do other things, but Jack Nicholson was the only one that actually did a lot more than the others. So I hope you guys enjoyed this evening's presentation. Like I was saying earlier, for those that were during my pre-show that didn't necessarily work the way I wanted it to, I'm going to figure that shit out. I'm planning on doing these every Monday, doing a Monday movie matinee, Mondays at 5, and then on Wednesdays doing some sort of other strange film, but like a short film. Like a short film that was played either before films or played in schools as like a part of sexual health or hygiene films, different propaganda short films. I'm planning on doing one called Perversion for Profit this Wednesday, and then next week maybe doing the entirety of Boys Beware, but it's only like an 11-minute film, so I'm gonna see about that. That might be a double feature. Perversion for Profit's almost an hour if I'm remembering correctly. Next week I plan on doing on Monday The Brain That Wouldn't Die, which was another weird horror film about a girl that gets decapitated and her boyfriend keeps her head alive in like a baking pan with this like erector set kind of holding it up. It's dark and wonderful and lovely, and I'm obsessed about it. By the way, I like, as sunset's happening, the way the lighting now looks finally in the room here. I hope you guys enjoyed this evening's extravaganza. Yeah, there's no space angle in this one at all, and also Audrey is not dating the dentist. There's a lot that Howard Ashman and Ellen Menken ended up making in that musical that just isn't in the original, and they got the rights from the Corman from Corman's lawyers and all that within like a year. Like it was open shut. Like, hey, okay, we want this much. Okay, let's get back to you. Like, boop, boop, done and done. Totally agreed to it. And it worked out well for everybody. And now we have the film that we know with Ellen Greene as Audrey and Steve Martin and Rick Moranis, of whom is a hunk. If you've ever seen, so when they made the musical in the stage version, in that one, Audrey dies, Seymour dies, and then the plant moves on and conquers Earth. And they basically made it be part of this whole alien plot line a la other 1950s, 1960s horror movies where it's a invasive alien plot line. And they have this whole song called Don't Feed the Plant, but they showed it to test audiences and it failed miserably. Like, test audiences said they A, didn't like it, and then B, the kicker was they said they wouldn't advise friends to go see it. And I get it. Like, it also was like a little darker, and then the difference is when you go see the stage musical, your favorite characters come out and take a bow later. This was just, they die. And that's it. So people didn't like it, so they reshot the ending. They added this happy ending where it ends up on the house, and yeah, there's like a little plant booga booga at the end, but that's it. Like, it's not the full dark ending where the plant tries to take over the Earth in this whole Godzilla conquer the Earth plotline. Ooh, I just realized I don't have my background music playing. Let me go back to some background music for your nerves. Ooh, that's also loud. Hold on. Bam. There we go. Nice ambient background music for your nerves. So, what I was saying was, yeah, so, they reshot that ending and you could only see the happy ending for years, and now the new Blu-ray version of the musical Little Shop of Horrors has the original Broadway ending with the plant eating the world, and they sing Don't Feed the Plant, and it's awesome. So if you haven't seen that, I highly advise it. It's around on YouTube. There's some work print versions of it if you've never seen it. Also, there's a song called Meek Shall Inherit that they chopped up, cause in this one, in the musical version, Seymour, yeah, most of them are accidents, but he deliberately continues to feed the plant. And he has this whole song where he thinks about, like, gee, I could feed the plant, but oh gee, Audrey might not love me anymore if I don't have the plant anymore. So he decides to continue having people die for the plant and for the sake of him having Audrey love him. So that justifies him dying in the musical version. But they chopped that out, and that's permanently gone from the movie. But they have a work print version on YouTube, so I highly advise going down a YouTube thing. On the subject of YouTube, please, by all means, if you haven't already, boop, go ahead and subscribe. Your name will pop up above me if you click the subscribe button down below. This whole entire thing was brought to you by all of my supporters on Patreon. So if you don't follow me on YouTube or any other medium, this is your time to do that. Your name will pop up, it'll make the bell go off, and tell your friends to go subscribe to me too. Once I get to the 1,000 person mark, boop, 1,000 person mark, YouTube starts treating me like a real YouTuber. So if we get to that point, that would be lovely. And yeah, tell people that I'll be doing another presentation on Wednesday and then Monday, and hopefully Wednesday and Monday from here on out. Once life gets started and I start having a day job again, we will revisit that and see if that can stick or not. But I do want to do these as a regular ongoing feature for everybody. So I know there's other films people have been talking about of us doing. I know there's Carnival of Souls. I'm planning on doing Brain That Wouldn't Die next week. There's a few other really old school, dark, weird films. As long as I'm broadcasting on YouTube, I have to keep them public domain. I might introduce a thing of being able to do licensed films elsewhere, but I don't want to break too many rules and get the ire of copyright chasing me down. Director's cut. Let's see. Roger Corman, yeah. Roger Corman's still alive. He's 94. Like, he's ancient. And still funny. And still does stuff. Let's see. Yeah, no space angle. Poor Seymour. Always feel bad for him, even though the original ending has some really nice scenes. Carrying her through the door, feed his plant master. His love was a solid. Yeah, like, in that dark ending of the musical version, like, Rick Moranis carries her in her bridal gown, because she's wearing a bridal gown because she's supposed to leave with him. Carries her in her bridal gown over the threshold. Like, it has this very, like, macabre, like, this is the end thing. So I love that. I should do a whole thing talking about Little Shop of Horrors, like, film an actual diatribe. I'm gonna see about filming an intro to this, because I made slides, and even though there's only like 20 slides, it's still good, and I want you guys to see that. So yeah, my apologies to the slides not working. I might chop off the introduction to this and re-upload maybe the introduction as its own thing. Who knows? Y'all saw the live version where mess ups happen, cause that's live theater. live theater, as live as things are going to get over our things. So thank you again to all my subscribers. Thank you again to all the people on Patreon that support me and our proud Patreon supporters, everyone that keeps coming in and watching these. Y'all, like, I had over a dozen people hanging out and watching this this whole time, and it was lovely having you guys along for the ride. So please sign up on YouTube or all my other things. You can visit that at logandonahoo.com for all those things. And yeah, I will be seeing you guys I will be seeing y'all on Wednesday evening for some weird what the fuck films, and then next week as well. So thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing y'all then. Have an awesome evening. Mwah! Stay safe. Love y'all.